Good morning. We are going to be continuing with thin and thick questions. Something we want to make clear about this is not only does this help you with your reading skills, but we are also going to be using this to generate questions for our immigration interview. So it is a good thing to go over for multiple reasons. So let's just take a minute to review thin questions. Thin questions, the answers are right there in the book. How many, who, when, where. And then thick questions, which are the newer questions we're going to talk about, you actually have to think and search to find the answers. So here are some sentence starters that you can use when writing a thick question. What do you think? What if? How would you feel if? Why did? How did? What do you think? What might? What would happen if? Okay, so all of those can be starting words in a question that you ask. That is a thick question. We're going to show you some examples to make it as clear as possible. Thin questions. There is a right or wrong answer, and you can find it by looking in the book, and they're easy to answer, but they do not lead to a discussion. This is the important difference between a thin and a thick question. Thin questions, there's no discussion because once somebody answers the question, it's answered. I mean, unless somebody wants to repeat the answer, you've already got it. So if you're asking a question like, where did the book take place? Well, there's probably only going to be one answer for that, and it doesn't lead to any sort of discussion. You're not going to be like, well, I think the book took place here, and I think that probably not. A thick question, on the other hand, is there is no right or wrong answer. So these are questions that make you think and they lead to a discussion. So if I'm asking you, how would you feel if, whatever the question is, you might have a different answer than the person next to you. And then you can have a conversation about it. Like, well, that would make me feel sad. And the other person was like, maybe that would make me feel angry. Now there's a point of conversation because you have different ideas and they can build off of each other and you can get knowledge from each other. So they're much richer questions. What you're going to do is you're going to watch this video. It is a picture book called The Bad Seed. Hopefully you enjoy it. And then this is where you're going to see some examples of some questions. So all of these are drag and drop questions. See, I was playing with it before because they were already going into categories, but you're going to look, oh, is it a thin question? Is it a thick question? And then you're going to move the questions to whatever column you think that they belong in. Okay. And hopefully, because you can see some of these questions, you can use them as examples for when you start writing questions. So here's a question: do you think he is a bad seed? Why or why not? Has there been a time when you thought you were a bad seed? What happened to make him a bad seed? Okay, and it goes all the way down. So think to yourself, is this a question where I might have a different answer than the person sitting next to me? And if that's the case, that's a thick question. If there's only one answer, it's a thin question. You and your partner are going to get exactly the same answer. It's a thin question. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to watch this video, The Day the Crayons Quit. And we are going to ask you to come up with one thin question and one thick question for this book. Okay, and go ahead. You can always go back to, I think it's slide 2, yeah, 2, where it has some examples, or you can use the bad seed examples, but you can use the beginnings of these as sentence starters if you aren't sure where to start. All right, hopefully that makes sense. If it does not, you know what to do. You email us, you call us, you text us, but definitely reach out because we want to be able to help you. And we really want to get good at this skill so that when we're doing our immigration interviews, we are asking really awesome questions. All right. And that is all. See y'all later.